this lesson. Okay, see, democratic and nationalist revolution in 18th, 17th, 19th centuries. Okay, so we have discussed some of the topics of this lesson. Okay, so today we will get into the topics of socio-economic conditions of French. Okay, so the socio-economic conditions of the French. So you all have to open the page number 153. Okay, if you see that how they have made the society into the estates levels, if you see this chart wise, you can understand so easily. Okay, see, look at here. See, they have this French society, they have divided into 3 estates. Okay, French society, they divided into 3 estates. Actually, you think that as estate means actually it's a huge infrastructure of a building, right? But here comes to this French society, so the meaning was different. Okay, see, they have divided as the estates means the people. Okay, some kind of similar kinds of the people they have divided into some kind of a group. So that group they called as estate. Okay, so the French society made it as divided as 3 estates. So the first estate was clergy, okay, and the second estate nobility. Okay, so the third estate big businessmen, merchants, and court officials, lawyers, peasants, artisans, small peasants, landless laborers, and servants. Okay, so these are all. I'll write some more. Okay, big business men and merchants. Okay, so as they have divided as like this, just wait. Okay, so as like this estates they have divided, okay, in the French. Okay, so they have divided the people's society and they have collected the tax for this each estate also differently. Okay, but here comes to here, peasants were about 90% of the total population of France. I told you, peasants means farmers, right? So out of the hundreds of percent of the population of France, since 90% of the people of the France were peasants. Okay, peasants means what I have told you, farmers. In our previous classes I told you, right? So, and they had to pay the tax for the France. Okay, and here, look at here, the church, here the another terms also there, tithes and tithe. Okay, tithes, it's a kind of tax. Okay, it's a kind of tax. In our places also, it's kind of taxes. Some of levy, in our India, we heard the levy and we heard some the another words for the tax, like for example, whoever paying the tax agriculture, they're calling as a term like a levy, right? So like that in the France also, they have made it as the tax names as like the tithes and tithes. The pronunciation vary Italy also. Okay, so what was this? You know, the churches also extracted taxes from the farmers. So the churches who collected the tax from the farmers, so that tax is called as tithes. And tithes directly paid to the government, directly paid to the state, whatever the tax. Okay, so that tax is called as tithe. Okay, so these two kind of the taxes has to be paid by the peasants to the state directly and as well as to the churches. Okay, and they are getting, actually they are full portion of 90% of the people are peasants, right? So they are paying the tax, they paid the taxes for the churches. Okay, and as well as for the state, like an indirect tax. Okay, and here the third estate also had to pay the taxes to finance activities to the state. Okay, third estate, who are the third estate? Many are there, right? See, court officials, lawyers, and peasants, artisans, and the small peasants and landless laborers. Everybody have to be pay the tax to directly to the state. Okay, so these was the socio-economic conditions. Socially, they divided their society into the three variations of estate, and economically they are collecting the tax differently. Okay, so the churches also posing the tax on the peasants, and as well as they have to pay the tax to the state government. Okay, you know what, in our places also we are paying the tax for every activities, and so through that only the government works, whatever they collected the tax from the people, and they're facilitating to the people like water and transportation, like building of the construction of the roads and all. Okay, so same like that, whatever they collected the tax, they have created some development in the French. Okay, and here, so at the same time, one of the middle class was emerged in the French. Okay, then we saw one of the middle class society was emerged in the 18th century. Okay, so they are mostly belongs to overseas the trade and manufacturing of the goods such as woolen and silk textiles. Okay, so they created one of the other society like middle class. Okay, middle class families, or also middle class society who are doing small kind of the business and all. Okay, so here we have to discuss about the main point here, tennis court oath. That means in the French, while it is going on the ruling of these monarchy systems, okay, see, while it's going on ruling of the monarchy system, so at that time the representatives of the third estate, many kinds of the society people are living in the third estate, right? So okay, so whoever the representative of this all belongs to third estate people. Okay, third estate felt that they were representing the whole French nation because their population is high, right? So that's why they felt that they are representing all the French nation. So on 20th June 1789 CE, they assembled in a hall of an indoor tennis court in the grounds of the Versailles under the leadership of Mirabeau, Abbassides and the Bali. Okay, so these all people, many kinds of the people were living in the third estate, right? So their representatives, they arranged a meeting in a tennis court place. Okay, so in the Versailles city. Okay, so like this, if you see the picture, you can understand. So they arranged a meeting. So in that meeting was led by the three legends or three representatives of that third estates. Okay, so who are those? Mirabeau, Abbassides and Bali. Okay, so what was the date? Why they have arranged a meeting over there? They have taken an oath because they are leading the population of the France. Okay, and they declared themselves as the National Assembly because we are a high in number of population, and they all have declared themselves. They all are belongs to one assembly, that is National Assembly, and they wants to create their own constitution, and they have taken the oath also. Oath means nothing but the promises. Okay, they had taken the oath on that day, and they have gone for the writing of the own constitution, which leading further of the French nation. Okay, so while it is going on, the outside of that stadium, okay, outside of that stadium, some of the revolutions were occurring. What was happening? Actually, they faced a lot of issue of the food scarcity. Okay, food scarcity. we the people now in our places will consume the high proportion of the food like rice and wheat, but their people, okay, so their consumption of the food like bread and all. Okay, so at that time they have faced a lot of the food scarcity. The bread is not available for them. At the same time, the merchants and some of the business people have used a strategy that to not to sell with the marginal price. So they have started that storing of the bread. Later on, after some days, they want to be sell out that with the high prices. They want to be more profit from that. So while it's going on, the people would not people want to be accept that. Why? Because actually they know that there is a supply was there, there is a demand is there, but even though the business people are not supplying of that food, whatever is stock is there. Okay, they are using the strategy for their profit makings. Understood? But the people won't accept that because they are feeling hungry. They are paying that marginal price, but for that they are not giving. Okay, so at the same time, many of the people have lined in front of all the bakeries and started shouted loudly, and they arranged some of the protest movements and all. So some of the women who felt more, it's like an injustice, they went inside of the bakery with a forcefully, and they collected some of the breads and they disposed. So by the looking of this issue, so the monarchy was not accepted that, and whoever did participate of that, they are all kept in the prison. Okay. So while these all the people are doing of the making out of the constitution framing for their special national assembly, but outside of the society was going on like this. Okay, and they have fought for only the bread, and they have faced a food scarcity at that time. So later on they agreed that because of that business people doing that, so they agreed that and they released out them. Okay, and here if you have then after that in 1791 CE, France became a constitutional monarchy. Okay, that means before that, here I'll tell you some words. You all have to clearly know that. See, monarchy. Monarchy means nothing but kingdom style of ruling. The one king is ruling the nation, right? So that system is called as a monarchy. Republic or democratic. You all have to know this. Republic or democratic, that means we are electing a person or as elect a contestant to be rule that our nation, okay, and as well as the wishing of the people. So that is called as republic or democratic. So the king style of ruling is called as monarchy. So previously in the France it's 1791, before it's like a monarchy system of ruling. But in the 1791 they have changed into became a constitutional monarchy. That means, so they have set up some rules in the constitution, like, okay, but ruled by the monarchy system only. Okay, understood? See how it was then. That means, for example, constitutional means what? They have to be arranged that separate departments like executive department, judiciary department, and legislative department. So for this all legislative department and executive departments, the people have to be vote and elect a person as their representatives, even in the executive and as well as in the executive and as well as in the legislature. But what was happened, they have selected constitutional monarchy. That means in the executive they did not go for the elections, they did not go for the electing a member. Here the executive team only the king and his ministers. Okay, king and his ministers. Wait a minute. Right. King and his ministers. But for the legislative, they department also they have gone for the elections. So by these three teams, the democratic rule has to be. Even in our India also we have this what judiciary department, executive department and legislation department. Okay. Okay, so in the France they have, if you see this flow chart, you can understand easily about this. Okay, and here, so executive department by the monarchy and legislative and the judicial department by the constitutional. Okay, then so they have arranged like in that way in the year of 1791, and in this while they are giving vote also. Okay, see, they have given only some kind of the people only have given right to vote who have paid more tax to their states. So for them only they have given the right to vote. Not all the people they have not given the right to vote. They all are the treated as the just viewers or as passive citizens. Okay, active citizens means who have the entitled as a vote. So to whom then they have collected as active citizens who have paid more tax, for them only they have given the right to vote. Okay, see, about 4 million of the population, 28 million. Okay, so out of the 28 million, I'll write over here, out of the 28 million of the population, only 4 million are the active citizens and who have used the right to vote. That means those only have the right to vote, those only elected the legislative department contestants. And 3 millions of men and women, children and youth below the 25 age, they have treated as a passive citizen. That means just like a viewers. Okay. And in that also, in these 4 millions also they have given whoever crossed 25 years of the men and women, so those should be have the right to vote. Okay, so they arrange like this: constitutional monarchy. Actually, I told you once in the class. So monarchy and republic or democratic. So now comes to another India part. Before that, before the Britishers have emerged, Britishers have ruled or conquered for us. Before that, our India has in the style of the monarchy. Then, when the Britishers have ruled of us, that is colonized. Then, after we got the independence from the Britishers, we had elections and we are electing the representative and all. So that is called democratic or republic. Okay, understood? So, this is the kind of a style of ruling of the countries. But France have gone to the constitutional monarchy. That means they arranged the constitution and they are ruling, but by the kind of, not by the elected all the members, but the executive by the monarchy. And they have declaration of some rights of the man and citizen. Okay, so out of that declaration of rights of the man and the citizens, out of that 10 only here they have given. Okay, see like that, what are those? Men are born and remain free and equal in rights, and as well as some liberty consists of power to do whatever is not injurious to others. And same like the law has the right to forbid any actions that are injurious to the society. So that means what they have the law that if it is anything injurious to the society, they are forbid of that all the activities. So these kind of that declarations they have made in the France. Okay, and here actually in some books they did not give, only the French Revolution and some topics only they have given, but about the German unification and Italy unification in old books they did not give. So you, okay, but you just follow it. Understood? And so while it is going on ruling of that in this way, so one of the era, okay, one of the era 1793 to 1794, the era it's called as terror, reign of the terror. So what was that? We'll continue. Yes, so the region of terror. That means Robespierre, the leader of Jacobin club. Okay, he made a terror in the public. So what was that? Followed a policy strict control and punishment. Robespierre followed strict control and punishments also. Okay, he arrested and imprisoned and then tried all the people are that enemies of the republic through the revolutionary tribunal. They included ex-nobles and clergy, members of political parties, even members of his own party who did not agree with his methods. Understood? See, he gone for arresting of many people. He did not see that where he is a kind of the status, or else where he is a kind of whether he is doing justice or not, or else he is in a correct method or not. He did not follow. Whoever opposing to his method, whom Robespierre, okay, if anybody are opposing to his method, he made them to be arrested and kept in prisons, and unnecessarily without going for the judgment only, he gone for the bulletin of the punishment. Okay, bulletin of the punishment means you can have a picture out here. Okay, so he made it. Of course, many of them opposing his views and strictly punishments and unnecessarily making the deaths of the people, but finally the judiciary department involved in it, and he stopped. The judiciary department have stopped his all the unwillingness, unnecessary things of unnecessarily he is making the punishments and keeping the jails whole a lifetime, and many of them people have killed in the form of the bulletin. Okay, so finally judiciary department have arrested that person, Robespierre. Okay, and same kind of the punishment the judiciary department have given to that Robespierre, same like this bulletin punishment. Okay, and women and French revolutions. Women also have participated in the French revolutions. Okay, so a special they have demanded for veto and a part of the equal. Okay, they wanted that equal positions as like the men, as well as in the politics, and as well as in the right to vote, and as well as in the socio-economic activities. Okay, so here there is they have given. Okay, so they have given a outline of the French revolutions in each year, what was occurrence, that all they have given. If you see this flowchart, it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so rule of directory. Okay, so Napoleon, after this reign of terror in 1979 onwards, Napoleon has started ruling. Okay, so Napoleon gets power. Understood? So the National Convention framed a constitution. It led to the formation of the directory, an executive team made up of 5 members to rule France. The members were incapable and corrupt, and there was no unity among them. They have selected 5 members, but they are incapable and no unity among them. It lost the popularity among the people, because where there is no unity and where there is no incapable persons, so they will lost their power. Okay, in the people. Government treasury was empty. Okay, treasury means their economy, right? The currency value decreased 100%. Unemployment increased. The situation was occurred. Okay. Unemployment was increased. The people vexed by different politics looked up for a new leader who could protect the revolution and lead the country. So at that time, so the treasury was empty and the people have unemployed. Okay, and the money value, okay, money value also decreased. So at that time, people are thinking for any one of the new legends to be ruled properly or correctly. Their expected at that time. Napoleon Bonaparte, who got series of victories to France, was considered the man of hope. So at that time, the people have thought that so the Napoleon was the hope for them for leading continuation of their line. Napoleon finally captured the power with the help of Abbassides. Okay, so Napoleon captured the power of France with the help of Abbassides, and he formed. You can have a just imaginary figure of the Napoleon. Okay, yeah. So here Napoleon formed government called consulate. Okay. See, actually before that the another one, right? But he formed. Okay, Napoleon. He was formed. Napoleon formed new government. So that's it. That it is called as consulate. Okay, consulate, and ruled for 5 years with his own formation of the government, and for the next 10 years also he only was continued. Okay, and the political and the constitutional changes that happened because of French Revolution led to the transfer of control from monarchy to the French citizens. Many changes were occurred. Why? Because before that it was a monarchy, right? And it was changed into the constitutional wise. So that's why they have seen the many changes. Okay, and this Napoleon could not remove spirit of republic from the people. Okay, spirit of republic from the people. He could not remove that. That means I'm the monarchy. I have to rule. No voice should be like this. He did not say it. Okay, you are the people. We are doing the service, and you should have to be elected person like that. He have created to the people, and he did not spoil of the republic views. When Napoleon lost the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, okay, he ruled from 1799 to the 1815. Okay, but finally in the 1815 he was lost in a battle. Battle means nothing but a war. Okay, so in which place? In Waterloo. Understood? Then after he is lost, monarchy was come up again in the France. Okay, monarchy was come up again in the France, and through all these changes, forms of the government, the ideals of freedom, equality and fraternity kept inspiring the people. These ideals motivated political movements in France and rest of Europe during the following century. Okay, so at the same time, unification of the Germany. While it is till the Napoleon have ruled, so the people have enjoyed their democratic and republic society. But after they left, he lost in the one of the battle. So again the monarchy system was emerged in the France. Okay. Next, there is a topic of unification of Germany. Here you have to know that what is called of unification. That means, see, whatever the states have this scattered, that means as the small kingdoms or small states, that all comes under a formed as into a one country. Okay, so that it is called as unification. Okay, so at the time unification of the Germany. Actually, before that, it's a scatter of many other independent kingdoms. Okay, yeah. So that was happened. Unification of Germany was happened in 19th century. Unification of Germany was happened in 19th century. Okay, here see that Germany was divided into many small independent kingdoms once they were part of the Holy Roman Empire. 1806 France ruler Napoleon Bonaparte conquered these and formed Rhine Conference with 39 kingdoms. For the first time, these kingdoms were ruled under one crown. 39 kingdoms ruled under one crown. That means one king under one crown ante oka crown, you know it, right? the kings, whatever they wore on the head of the cap, that is called as crown. That means 39 kingdoms have ruled like in the one crown. So nationalist ideas were formed in Germans. So then onwards, when it is formed as the unification, that it was changed. And see, we are have to discuss about the among these all the 39 kingdoms. So one is that the Prussia, not Persia, Prussia. Okay, it was the biggest kingdom in the Germany, and this Prussia ruler was William I, Chancellor Bismarck. Here they have given an imaginary pic of the Bismarck. Okay, so we have to think about him. Why? Because see that he made possible of the unification of the Germany, and see the Bismarck followed and 3 battles in 7 years. Okay, he created his own views, and he tried for the unification of Germany 7 years, and he followed the policy of blood and iron. That means he made every citizen to be compulsory military service. Okay, he made every citizen of that nation to be work in the military. Okay, and he strengthened the military power. See, actually you might be knowing of this all the history lessons, or else you might be knowing that see each and every nation, if have the military power is high, so that is nothing but the strength and power of that country, right? So the Bismarck have did that, and he isolated Austria, Holland and France with the plotted diplomatic policy and defeated. So, and at the time he was held over a war with the Denmark also. And same as like this, unification of the Italy. Same at that time they gone for the unification of the Italy also. That means many of the small kingdoms were over there, same like the Germany, and they all are unified and they named as a Italy. So the Bismarck have a crucial role in that unification of the Germany. Same like that, in the unification of the Italy also have done by the here I have given Italy was divided into 7 states, which was one Sardinia predominant was ruled by the Italian princely house. Okay, right. So in this they have got during 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini had tried to be put together a program of uniting Italy into a Italian republic. Right, Giuseppe Garibaldi, they have created more in the unification of the Italy. Okay, so this all happens in the democratic and nationalist revolutions in 18, 19, 17, 18, 19 centuries. Okay,